Valley Museum. It's your virtual host, Matthew, and I'm here to talk about these beautiful set of pipes that I have right behind me. They're from 1919, over 100 years old. They belong to a Wurlitzer organ. Wouldn't it be great if we could hear some music from that right now? Oh, it wasn't me. That's just the music that's actually playing over here. Hey! Don't I know you? You weren't you the one that showed me how to churn butter?
Yes, I was. Hi, Matthew. How are you doing?
Fine, thank you. How did you get here?
Well, if you can time travel, I can time travel too.
Can you tell me more about the Wurlitzer organ here?
Yes, I love the Wurlitzer organ. Did you know that the Wurlitzer organ was made to fit inside the Liberty Theater right down the street?
Right here in Wenatchee?
Right here in Wenatchee. This
Wow.
was the very organ that was used to play silent films.
Silent films? You mean there was no talking?
There was no talking, no. From 1919 until 1929, this was the organ that made the sound for all of the movies in Wenatchee.
Wow. I guess people, if they didn't have this, had to be really quiet in the movie before that.
Yes. So they would have different sounds. So imagine old movies. Have you ever seen an old movie?
Oh yeah, I've seen lots of old movies.
Yeah. So lots of movies, old movies have police chases, which are my favorite. You might have heard something like this.
Wow. Sounds like the Keystone Cops are on the way.
Yeah. A lot of times old movies have people tied to the railroad tracks. What does that sound like?
Sounds like the hero better get there and save whoever it is off the railroad tracks.
That's right.
The trains are coming.
And how about this?
Well, it sounds like the Titanic just arrived.
Yeah, it's a boat whistle. I'm going to try to trick you, Matthew.
Okay.
Because I don't know if you know this.
I don't think I know that.
That's what car horns used to sound like. Not the horns that we have now, are they?
No, that one sounds like the car has indigestion.
And how about this one? What does this remind you of?
Uh-oh, sounds like there's a fire. The firemen are on the way.
Yeah, I can see a fireman sliding down the fire pole right now.
Absolutely.
And how about this?
Oh, in case you have birds in the picture.
Yes, right, so you can hear birds. Or sometimes the birds are, have you ever seen the cartoons?
Oh, yeah.
And the birds fly around the head of people.
Oh, like after a
bombed.
frying pan?
Right, exactly.
I've
You
seen
would
a few
hear
of
that
those
bird
birds.
whistle. And how about this? Sometimes they would have to have impending doom, and you would hear this. Something's about to happen.
Sure sounds like it.
And then when something happens, you might get a signal crash.
Oh! I guess that could also come after a joke, couldn't it? So people would know when to laugh.
Exactly. Like, why is 6 afraid of 7?
I don't know. Why is 6 afraid of 7?
Because 7, 8, 9.
Oh, I get it.
And this is going to trick you too, Matthew. You have to think, a long time ago, we didn't have roads the way they used to be. We didn't have cars either.
Okay.
The roads used to be paved with stone, and we had horses.
That's a horse?
Yep, the horse hooves on the stone pavements.
They had to walk sideways back then.
And then, drum roll.
Oh! That's a drum roll?
That is a drum roll. Something's got to happen. Ta-da!
Wow, it sounded like the armed forces had arrived in that last one.
Yes. So lots of different sound effects that we can make using my feet. We also have pedals, and there's actually 3 rows of keyboards.
Oh, well, yeah, let's show us a little bit more detail on it. Could you?
Yes, why don't you come on over?
Yeah.
So the organ has 3 separate keyboards, unlike a piano that just has one. This organ has the top keyboard, the middle keyboard, and then there's one down here by my feet. Can you see the ones by my feet? We'll start off there. If I press a button or a pedal on the floor, it has different sounds. I can make it louder by pushing many different buttons and pushing the pedals, and you can hear lots of different instruments. I'm going to push all of the buttons, and you can hear all of the different instruments. This organ has the ability to play all of the instruments in an orchestra.
Wow.
Yes, it is amazing. I wish I knew how to play the organ, but I don't. But I can.
But you can push the buttons
I can
really
push
well.
the buttons, and I can show you how it works. So those pedals were from here to here. The buttons there. The buttons from here to here are going to be the middle one. So when I press the keys, you can hear just one instrument. I'm going to press many keys. It'll make it louder. And you can hear many different instruments. I can make it louder still. All of the instruments are pressed down. I can make it even louder by opening up windows at the top. I'm going to cancel all of those, and I'm going from here, this button to this button is the top row. Again, I can push many buttons. And you can hear more instruments. I'm going to push all of the buttons, and it'll be louder. I just closed the windows, so it's not as loud. Cancel those, and from this button to this button, these are all things like the xylophone, the Glock, and chimes.
Too bad you don't have any bells on there.
I do have bells. And all of them all at once. Do you want it louder?
I think a little louder,
I
yeah.
can open up windows.
Well, that really is beautiful. You really do have a whole marching band right at your fingertips, don't you?
Well, it's an orchestra. Yes.
Well,
Yes.
and I guess also your toe tips, too.
And my toes, yes. Yeah. So what I can do now, because I don't know how to play music,
I don't
but
either.
I can hit these different stops. And do you see? I'm going to cancel it. As I hit these different stops, different instruments, different buttons go down and up. And as those different buttons go down and up, it sounds different. Different instruments are playing, and it either makes it soft, like the letter P, and those who know what P is for musicians, that's pianissimo, pianissimo. And then there's F for forte, makes it a little bit louder. And then we also have treble. And yeah, that's just by changing the instruments.
I think that's so beautiful. You know, it's too bad that I don't know how to play, and it's too bad that you don't know how to play. If only we could find some way to hear a song.
Well, guess what, Matthew?
What?
The volunteers that brought this instrument to the museum, they decided that that would be a good thing to have this play music all by itself.
Really?
Yes.
Can we hear a song?
Sure. Let's see if it will work.
Don't you kind of want to dance to that at home? Sure sounds fun and silly, doesn't it? Why don't you get up and try a few moves? That was really something. What beautiful music. It must have taken a lot of people a long time to bring all of this over.
Yes, it did. In fact, back in 1988, Bill Starkey and many other volunteers decided that it would be great to have the Wurlitzer organ moved here to the museum for everybody's enjoyment. And they raised $60,000 back in August of 1988 to
Wow.
move it here. So in August of 1988, they had the last silent film and the organ playing together at the Liberty Theater.
Just down the street here?
Just down the street.
Wow, that must have been something to see. And all the volunteers brought it here after that showing?
Yes, brought it here. They had to take the pipes and send them over to Seattle to get refurbished and cleaned up and then sent here. And the organ itself, they cut the wires and rolled it right down the street along the sidewalk, right to the museum.
That must have been something to see.
It was in the papers and everything.
Thank you so much for coming and talking about the Wurlitzer with us today.
Oh, Matthew, I
Yes.
forgot to tell you.
What's that?
Would you be interested in coming to see an actual organ concert? Not just playing it by magic and not me just playing notes, but an actual musician and organist, a professional organist?
Absolutely. When can I do that?
July 18th at 7 p.m. We're going to have a silent film and the organ is going to be accompanying it.
That sounds wonderful. July 18th at 7 p.m.
Check our website.
I can be here for that. Thank you so much for being here, and thank you for being here. You stay safe out there.
Bye.